guys, today we're going to talk about the miter saw. The miter saw is a vital part of my workshop. I would put it in my top 3 tools: table saw, miter saw, and my production Craig jig. I've never been in love with this miter saw, this particular model. It's accurate, it's easy to use, but shortly after I got it, the laser went out on it, which really isn't a huge deal because it wasn't super accurate. One thing I never liked about it was the insert. And here is the original insert that came with it. It's got a very wide saw kerf area, and chunks would get stuck in there all the time, and it was distracting, and there would be enough chunks in there that when I plunged the work into it, the blade would hit those and they'd scramble around. It was just annoying. So every so often I would have to take this off, which meant remove the fence, pull this off, clean it out, vacuum it and everything, and then shortly after using it again, there would be new chunks in there. It was just always very annoying. Recently I happened to get a piece of thin oak that I thought that's going to be just about right, and it was. A couple passes through the planer and it fits nice and smooth with my table. I made a template out of the original, which you'll see in the video, and so now after the first plunge with this blade, I know exactly where the cut is going to be, and there's no way for any thin pieces to get caught in there, and it just seems safer and more accurate now. One thing that I have noticed in just the short time I've used it since is that if you have just a small cutoff on the back side and you use the saw incorrectly, which means with the blade still running you let it up, there is a tendency with the zero clearance insert for it to possibly fling a little bit and go flying. The solution to that is use the tool the right way, Kevin, which means make your cut, release the trigger, and let the blade come to a stop. That's the right way to use this saw. So let's learn how to make a custom insert. I know you guys are going to be disappointed not to see much of Kathy in this video, but she has been swamped lately, so I'm kind of on my own here. The first step in this process is to remove the existing insert, the one that I never really liked. You also, to do this, have to take off the fence, so it's a real pain in the neck. One of the things I'm just not crazy about this particular model saw. Once we get all the pieces removed, I'm going to put the insert back in and just tape it together using some masking tape and a couple pieces of cardboard so that I can remove it all in one piece and make a template. Next, I'm going to lay the actual insert down on my wood and carefully trace it out so I can cut it out on the bandsaw. Once we have the outside shape cut, we can go ahead and put it through the planer for a couple passes to get it to exactly the right thickness. For the holes in the insert, I like to use an awl to create a perfect center for my Forstner bit. I'll set the depth stop on the drill press so that I don't go too deep with the countersink. We'll use a smaller drill bit for the bolts that go all the way through. All that's left to do now is attach the insert to the saw, put the fence back on, and then the ever so rewarding first plunge of the saw blade. Now we know exactly where the saw blade is going to cut on this insert and can more accurately make our next cuts.
Well, I hope everyone missed me, because I missed being out there with Kevin. I also hope that you like this video and you subscribe to our channel. Now remember, keep your biscuits dry.